Mama Uju's restaurant was the most popular food joint in town. It was always full of people, from traders to taxi drivers, and even big men in fine suits. Her food was so delicious that once you tasted it, you would always come back for more. But there was one problem. Her restaurant was in the dirtiest part of the market. It was beside a smelly gutter with flies buzzing everywhere. The ground was always wet and muddy, and rats ran around freely, picking off bites of food. The place smelled of rotten vegetables, fish, and something else no one could quite explain. But still, people came because the food was just too sweet to resist. Mama Uju herself was a very fat woman, always sweating from the heat of the kitchen. Her clothes were dirty, stained with palm oil and soup. Her fingers were black with dirt, and her breath smelled terrible. But she didn't care. As long as people were buying from her food, she's always happy. One afternoon, Chike sat with his friend Emeka, who had just finished eating at Mama Uju's place. Chike, I swear, that woman's food is sweeter than anything my wife has ever cooked, Emeka said, licking his finger. Chike laughed. Are you serious? Even sweeter than your wife's food? Even better than my mom's food, Emeka replied, rubbing his stomach. Chike, who loved good food, became curious. I must go and confirm this miracle food myself. So he went straight to Mama Uju's restaurant. As usual, it was packed. People were pushing and struggling to find a seat. The air was thick with smell of horse soup, fried meat, and something rotten. He ordered fufu and oha soup. When the food arrived, he took one bite and his eyes widened. It was the most delicious food he had ever tasted. As he ate, he suddenly felt pressed. He needed to urinate. Looking around, he couldn't see any toilet, so he decided to go behind the restaurant. As he walked, he heard noises and laughter coming from the kitchen. Then, through a small hole in the wooden wall, he peeped inside. What he saw made his stomach turn. The kitchen was filthy. The floor was covered in old soup spills, pieces of rotten meat, and black sticky water. Big rats ran freely, jumping over dirty plates, while cockroaches crawled on the kitchen tables. There was a large pot of soup bubbling over an open fire. But then Chike saw something that nearly made him vomit. One of the cooks stood over the pot, unzipped his trousers, and started urinating inside. Another worker, a woman with sweat all over her face, spat into the same pot before stirring it. Others were laughing and chatting like it was nothing. Chike's stomach twisted. He felt like throwing up. He had just eaten from the pot. Panicking, he stepped back to run away, but his leg hit a bucket, making a loud noise. The worker turned and saw him. Before he could escape, Mama Uju herself appeared behind him. Where are you going, my son? She asked, her voice low and cold. Chike's heart pounded. You are poisoning people, he stammered. Mama Uju smiled, revealing her yellow, dirty teeth. Poison? How can it be poison when people love my food? She pulled out a bundle of cash from inside her wrapper. Take this and forget what you saw. You like money, don't you? Chike stepped back in disgust. Never. I will report you. Mama Uju's smile disappeared. Her face darkened. Think carefully, she said. If you talk, you will regret it. But Chike didn't listen. He ran straight to the police station. The police wasted no time. They arrived at the restaurant, broke down the doors, and stormed the kitchen. The workers tried to escape, but it was too late. The police caught them red-handed, one still holding his trousers, another still spitting into the pot. The whole market gathered outside. When people heard what had been happening, chaos broke out. Some screamed, others vomited on the streets. Many swore never to eat from roadside restaurant again. The police shut down the restaurant immediately. The government ordered the building to be destroyed. Within days, nothing was left but rubble. Mama Uju and her workers were taken to court. The judge wasted no time to sentence them to 15 years in prison for poisoning the public. But then came the most shocking confession. In court, Mama Uju and her workers admitted that they had been using people's destiny. The food was not just dirty, it was spiritually cursed. Once you eat from our pot, your life is no longer yours, Mama Uju confessed. You will only have enough money to come back and buy more food. But nothing else in your life will work. Your business will fail. Your family will suffer. And no matter how hard you try, you will never progress until the day you die. The courtroom fell silent. Some people who had been eating at the restaurant for years collapsed in shock. Others screamed and ran outside. Another worker confessed, "We don't just use urine and spit. We also mix charms in the soup. And the moment you swallow it, your destiny is tied to Mama Uju forever." A man in the audience started crying. "I have been eating there for 10 years. No wonder my business had been falling." The confession kept coming. Another worker revealed that anyone who refused to eat the food after their first visit would suffer endless bad luck. The judge, disgusted and horrified, ordered that Mama Uju and her workers be locked away immediately. The story spread across the whole of eastern Nigeria, and to this day, people still shudder when they hear the name Mama Uju. People began to fear street food. Many swore never to eat from roadside restaurants again. Others went to churches for deliverance, afraid that they had already lost their destinies. To this day, Mama Uju's story remained a warning to all. Never judge food by its taste alone. Sometimes, the sweetest meal hides the most dangerous secrets. Would you want to continue eating outside after hearing the story of Mama Uju's kitchen? Let me know in the comment section. And thanks for staying till the end of this story.